we'll take an opening statement from Coach Servais, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes, and then let them get on the bus and get ready to go, and then we'll have questions for Coach. Coach, ready when you are.
Well, Arkansas played a heck of a game. Give them a lot of credit. They were good in all three phases. Their pitcher was outstanding. He threw a lot of pitches. He threw 3 pitches, quality pitches for strikes. Obviously, offensively, they were on point tonight. You know, drove the baseball, hit several home runs, and then defensively they made the play. So, give them all the credit. You know, they certainly outplayed us tonight.
Jackson, get us going.
For both of you guys, just can you kind of go into what made Root kind of what was difficult for you guys facing Root tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he, like Coach said, he commanded 3 pitches for strikes. Fastballs to both sides of the plate, and he's got some velocity and some perceived velocity when it's in, too, especially when he's throwing the changeup for strikes before that. You know, he's a heck of a pitcher. I would imagine he'll be an early round draft pick this year, so, yeah.
Yeah, like Ben said, he had 4 good pitches that he could put wherever he wanted. I thought the fastball was really lively, and then his breaking balls and changeups off of that was pretty good as well.
I guess from an offensive standpoint, watching the at-bats they put together, and especially the power swings they had, what became overwhelming about their offense, I guess, tonight?
Yeah, I think they controlled the zone really well. We were throwing a lot of pitchers' pitches that 50-50 might be a strike, might be a ball, and I thought it was a great zone tonight, to be honest. Major league zone, and they were getting in hitters' counts, and they're putting good swings on pitches that they're selling out for.
Yeah, credit to them. They were really disciplined with their approaches. Seemed like they had a great plan going in, and then they attacked the pitches that they're hunting. So, got to give credit to them.
Just in terms of tomorrow, it could be your last day together. How do you approach it?
Yeah, I think we've played our best baseball this year when our backs have been up against the wall. So we're going to play fast, we're going to play hard, we're going to play loose like we always do, and I believe that if we do that, we'll be successful.
Yeah, just going to play our game at a high level, and good things are going to happen.
Any more questions for student athletes? Well, thanks for the time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Coach Servais?
You mentioned you'd seen Arkansas on TV a few times this year. What were your impressions of kind of just their ability to kind of just constantly, you know, get the big hit, put pressure on your pitching staff, all that kind of stuff once you saw it live?
Well, really, it starts at a mound for them too. You know, that pitcher set the tone tonight. You know, I think that when you have a pitcher that is dominant as he was, that relaxes your hitters. You know, the hitters know they don't have to do as much. And then, you know, I said it last night too. Offense is such a momentum part of this game. And once they got the lead, you know, their swings were different. They drove the ball better. And, you know, I'm not totally surprised. You know, I knew they were a physical team. I knew they had some power. Obviously, the numbers showcase that. So, but we walked 12 hitters tonight. And there's no way you can beat a team like this walking 12 hitters.
Coach, I think it was Aloy's first home run. He swung at a pitch at his head, and then it was kind of a similar spot. Did the pitcher miss a spot by a little bit lowering it, or was it a good pitch that he just hit over the front?
You know, that was a pretty good pitch. You have to give him a ton of credit. There's not a lot of college hitters that are going to get on top of that pitch and do what he did with it. But he's a heck of a player. You know, it wasn't just tonight. He's done that all year. But that showcased a little bit of his ability and his athleticism, because not a lot of college guys are going to hit that pitch. They're going to swing through it, at best foul it off. And for him to get on top of it and drive it, you know, 350-some feet for a home run, says a lot about the kind of player he is.
What do you want on the guys' minds is when their heads hit the pillows tonight about what tomorrow's about?
Well, it's another opportunity for us to play together as a group, as a team. We know it's going to be a challenge, you know, to try to first of all, North Dakota State's playing as well as, as certainly as we are right now. I mean, they played Arkansas very well on Friday. They beat KU today. We played them already twice this season, and we split with them. So, but I think when you lose by as much as we did, it doesn't hurt quite as much. You're anxious to turn the page. I feel fortunate that we have another game tomorrow. Otherwise, this one might linger a little bit. But this team has always been, the younger generation, they can let go a lot easier than folks like myself. So they're not having any problem with it. They'll show up tomorrow, and you'll see the effort that you've seen from our guys all year.
Coach, do you know who you're going to start tomorrow in the first game, and just how do you feel about your pitching as a whole?
Well, we have a starter available in Jack Pino. Jack's been our Saturday, Sunday starter the whole year. So Jack will go. And it's obvious we need some innings out of Jack tomorrow. We can't go to the bullpen in the second or third inning. We haven't used two of our high-leverage bullpen guys yet in the first two games, so we're sitting pretty good there. We do have a guy available if we get to the second game tomorrow that can start. But we're not going to worry too much about that. We got a lot of work to do in that first one. But, Jack Pino has pitched a lot for us. So if he's in the strike zone, he'll give us 5 or 6 innings, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I guess just what were your impressions of Wilson's outing? Obviously a younger guy in a postseason setting.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to put a freshman in. And I thought he got off to a relatively good start. He was throwing a lot of strikes. And then he hit a little bump in the road, and it's hard for a young player to kind of navigate through that. But he was our best option tonight. I have zero regrets in giving the ball to Wilson in this environment. He was our best guy. He pitched in a tough situation last weekend in the Big East tournament and did outstanding. So it was our best option. I don't know if we would have had too many guys on our staff that would have been able to beat them tonight. I mean, they were locked in. They were just a better team than us tonight, clearly.
And then what were you saying to your team in the huddle before the game?
That we need to get some rest, that tomorrow hopefully is a long day for us, that we need to play the way we're capable in the first game, that we do get another opportunity to play another game. And, there's no guarantees after that, but we know we have the opportunity at 2 o'clock to play. And I would be very, very surprised if they're not ready to go.
I guess obviously you have the game against North Dakota State first, but are there things you can take from tonight that, you can maybe table for the rest of the weekend if it does come to a rematch?
Yeah, we can't fear contact. Sometimes when you get in offensive ballparks like this and a guy hits one out early, your pitchers kind of get on their heels a little bit. You just can't afford to do that. There's going to be home runs. They're physical players, they're talented players. You just can't give up 12 free bases with walks, a couple hit by pitches, and expect to even have a chance against a team of this nature. So that's what we'll take from it. If we're fortunate enough to get another opportunity, we got to be more aggressive on the mound. It's as simple as that.
Any more questions for Coach? Coach, we'll let you go.
Okay, thanks, guys.